This is so creepy. Oh, there's Children's Aid Society here. Oh my god. Yeah, they're all going to prison. I think some of them got deported and they got the citizenship revoked. And all those creepy people who have restraining orders against me are forced to move. And they're trying to tell me that I have to move, and I'm like, why? Why would I have to do that? Yeah, so they're like, literally, like, they got all of their stuff revoked. They lost all of their life savings and their inheritance through the lawsuit, which everybody lost. I don't know about the inheritance part, but, like, they lost all their savings. They're broke, and they thought that they could just end up staying at the homeless shelter, and the cops were training me to be their friend. Like, you can train people to be your friend? Like, they're really stupid. I have no idea what they're talking about. I think they're completely delusional now. And, what actually ended up happening was that because they just broke the restraining order, now they're forced to move. All the creepy people who were yelling like, oh, you're a bitch, blah, blah, because I was a victim of their crime, and obviously they're gonna get sent to prison and stuff, and obviously their case wasn't gonna go through, was the ones who were breaking their restraining order and, like, telling me all that fucking bullshit. And, all these weird people are, like, telling me what to do and, like, how to live my life and stuff. Like, I don't know them. They're, like, literally insane. Like, I think everybody in the area owes me money now. So that's another thing. I don't think they're prepared for war at all, because that's what it's coming to, because they're not even prepared to live on the streets. Apparently Hungary went broke, like the entire country. I have no idea what's going on there. Tiffany, the foster family's kid that I had to live with, she actually was the one who was just lying about me since she was a kid to everybody, and all the teachers were involved, and the foster mom was involved, and they didn't think they were gonna go to prison for it, and the cops were involved, so they all got convicted. I actually don't know how Susan's still, like, not in prison already. I don't know if her case is actually, like, I don't know if she received a notice for her case yet. She's, like, trying to tell me that I'm gonna get screwed over, and, like, people are gonna do what they did to her to me because we're all the same now, we're all in the same boat or something, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know that the homeless shelters are gonna get shut down. So that's something that's just, like, it's just weird that they don't know that. To me, I'm just like, how are they gonna afford running the shelters? Like, who's gonna pay for that? Everyone's just gonna, like, they're not gonna actually just show up for work if they're not getting paid for it, obviously. Everyone, including, the previous employers I had, got their case thrown out or got convicted of separate charges unrelated to the case as soon as the investigation was open. And, they actually still owe me money. A bunch of people were trying to convince me that it was, like, they were trying to make it seem like, a bunch of other people were doing what they were doing, and I'm like, so you're telling me all these people who haven't literally raped me and legitimately stole my stuff were the ones who was raping me and stealing my stuff? Are you delusional? Like, I honestly think that they're retarded now. Like, this isn't what any normal person would do. And I think there's been evidence of aliens here. Like, it's really obvious that they're not human, and I'm like, this isn't even what any human person would think. Like, I don't want to say the retard, I guess, because it can be discriminatory against other people who are mentally challenged or, like, disabled. But, like, they're not all like that. That's the thing. Like, these people are violent, aggressive, and retarded. And some of them are homosexual, and Wally got raped in prison. And he's been trying to convict me and send me to prison because he doesn't want to pay me back. Which is where all the people who go to prison go to for that exact reason. Everybody that I met here so far was exactly like that, and he's been trying to convince me that the foster family's house is exactly like prison, and that's where I'm gonna end up, in prison. Doesn't matter because it's gonna be exactly like there anyway, and I'm like, I have no idea what he was talking about, honestly. I thought he was like insane. Like clearly he was delusional. He was smoking a lot of crack. He thought that like we were married already. That's the thing. It's just I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I was like, I don't even know you. David Nagy actually got his case thrown out. He thought he could accuse me of forcing him to live there or something. Obviously, the case didn't get thrown out. He lost the case. He lost his lawsuit, which means that he owes me money. And he thought that people would feel sorry for him because he doesn't have legal status here and he's a refugee and he has like all these mental problems. And I'm like, people hate people like you. Like normal people with functional degrees and a job and pay taxes, they hate people like you. And yeah, I was facing discrimination and racism from the Canadian government and the British government solely because of my race. All the people who are working in authority positions just happen to be white, right? Because they're from England or they speak English very well. And they ended up actually refusing to do their job solely because I wasn't white and instead chose to side with David Nagy because he was white. So that's what was happening. And I don't know what the fuck their problem is. I have to be honest, apparently this guy named Diplo was involved. He's from Romania. He's like a Romani or something. I think those are called gypsies in Europe, but yeah, he's one of those Romani people. He like, I don't know what the fuck happened to that guy, but like he was like accusing me of doing all this nasty stuff that he was doing. And thought that like I would go to prison because David was right about me the entire time because he's white and I'm not. And he's like, he didn't understand how it looked. I'm like, he's a refugee from a third world country with a drug addiction who had to flee to Canada for refuge and ended up stealing and lying and hurting innocent citizens. Like, you're telling me that person is right about everything. It doesn't make any sense. And David didn't want to believe that I was better than him. That's the thing. He's like, there's no way you're better than me, even though it's very obvious that you are better than me. Because I'm better than you. I'm better than everyone. I know more, and I have more life experience, and I'm the greatest person on earth. Like, that's how he thinks. Because he has narcissistic personality disorder, right? So this is a main reason as to why a lot of people were involved in getting him to, like, try to rob me and steal from me the minute they found out that I was actually doing well with my life, including the government workers and the employees. Yeah, it was that fucked up, and I have no idea why they thought that, like, things would change, or that they wouldn't get convicted, or that, like, on top of all this, like, illegal stuff that they were doing and the legal charges that they were facing, they would just be able to just, like, continue to do those things, because the world is an awful place just like them. This is how they think. They think that, like, there's no way anyone can be good because they're not good people. Like, everyone in the world is just as awful as they are. And I'm like, I don't know if that's considered a mental disorder. I think just people call that just a piece of shit. Like, they're just really crappy people. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm supposed to say to that. Like, honestly, they're weird. Like, they're really, really weird. And I am starting to think that they are aliens. Like, I don't think they're human. And, maybe they're not aliens. They're just really shitty people. They just seem so foreign to me. I'm like, how are you like that? Like, you're so stupid and useless. Like, I've never met such stupid, useless people before in my life. And I live with the Foster family. They were really useless and they were really stupid, but you guys take the cake, honestly. Like, that is just wow. Like, I don't know if anyone's met anyone stupid and useless, but it's like, oh my god, how are you like that? They were trying to convince me that I was fat and ugly and I was stupid and I had nothing going on for me, and then it was just really funny because it's like, I can clearly tell you're talking about yourself. Like, I know that's how much you hate yourself. I don't know why you're saying that you hate me when you keep talking about yourself like that. Like, you keep describing yourself and telling me about yourself, but you're saying that it's me. It's just weird. And, yeah, apparently the Hungarian government was heavily involved because they were accusing me of taking advantage of their citizens because I was being the victim of their crime and I was forcing them to do crimes on me. And I'm like, how am I forcing people to commit crimes on me? So you're saying that I know these people and I'm intentionally getting other people involved to create a situation where I'm the victim? That sounds like one of those like crime series novellas. Like, you know, like those novels that people read, like Agatha Christie novels. Yeah, those fictional novels. That's what that sounds like. That's what that is. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about a fictional crime novel, and I was like, how are you running an entire country? That's so weird. And like people here who are white, they think like Europe is like a really advanced and really like developed country when it's actually not. So like Europe is actually technically a third world nation. So most European countries are undeveloped. They're considered third world countries. I think England is considered a developed country. I don't really think so anymore. I'm not really going by what this whatever. So they've been violating a lot of human rights codes and ethics codes in Canada solely because I guess they just didn't want to work. Like they thought that they could just get it easy here and they could come here and just like mooch off other people and then like just like try to make it look like other people are not doing their work so like they can just continue to do that, like not work. And it was just weird. And I saw a lot of people who were like that and I was like, are they all like that? Like, it was weird. Like, I thought, like, all white people were like that. Apparently they weren't, but, like, a lot of them have problems, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of why I don't like white people. Like, including the Israelis, like, I don't know where I don't even know their country. I think they're, like, mooching off of Palestine or something, and they got tired of it. And I'm like, if you want to be homeless, you can, but you can't actually, like, legitimately claim those as yours unless you're, like... I have no idea what the fuck they were doing, honestly. But, like... Oh, yeah, I was reading this guy. His name was Maluma. And he's, like, this, recording artist. And on his, like, profile, he was talking about, like, I think, because I said, like, Hungary had, like, little populations. Like, the entire country has, like, 300,000 people in it. Or something like that. It's just so small. It's very small. And he was, like, saying, like, oh, it's just, like, 60k in Israel, like, it's the entire population. I don't know if he's trying to target me or something. I thought that he was actually Hungarian. Honestly, I thought he was, like, some Hungarian dude that immigrated here when he was a kid. And, like, started singing and, like, pretending to be American, because a lot of Europeans do that. So I actually don't know. Some guy was trying to tell me that they are all European, but I don't think, like, he said 3 of them are actually from Canada. They're not actually from America, and I'm like, what the fuck? I actually don't trust that guy though. Like, I don't think he's telling the truth. But yeah, it turns out this guy named Marc Jacobs, like, he's a fashion designer or something. He's broke now because of what he got involved in, and he thought that, like, I was a bad person because I wasn't white. Yeah, I'm just like, how did you hide your racism for so long? And his parents were Nazis. And this crazy bitch named Paris Jackson, she's an adopted kid. She was adopted and, like, she didn't have a good life. Like, she's really stupid, she couldn't finish school, she just lived off her parents her entire life, right? Like, she's like the homeless people here. And she started to, like, accuse me of being a Nazi, and I was like, I don't fucking know what she's talking about. Keep in mind, I've never met these people in person. There was one guy who actually didn't go by any of the photos in the picture, and he, like, instead had to come see me in person because he's like, obviously you can't get everything off photos. Like, no matter how long you've been talking to that person, like, you have to meet them in person to get to know them, right? Like, or at least get an idea of what they are like. So, like, I mean, I thought that was, like, a standard, but, like, it was weird. I mean, it's just, I don't know what they're doing here, like, in America. I think they think, like, America's, like, a free country and nobody lives here and they can do whatever they want. But that's what aliens think like. Like, I don't notice that aliens are consistently creepy. Like, they don't understand what creepy is and why it's not okay. Like, and they have no social skills and they're always mooching off other people. That's how I consider somebody an alien. Like, this person kind of seems like a human being, but they're not. Right? Like, they keep mooching off other people. They always, like, they don't know what they're doing. They only care about money because that's the only thing that comes to make sense to them. Right? Like, financial transactions. It's just easy to understand. They don't really understand much about human skills, culture, or like anything to do with the earth or animals in general. Like that kind of stuff is just completely foreign to them. So I was like, I have no idea why the aliens here. I have no idea why people wanted them here. Just like it was just weird. What else? Yeah, I was just literally talking to some people online, and they're like, those guys are the ones who's raping you and like they're killing you and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Literally, are you telling me that I literally saw you steal from me? I literally was there when you were raping me. You're telling me it wasn't you, but it was somebody else while you're doing that while I was witnessing this. Are you insane? Like, what is that? I have no idea what the fuck that is. They're fucking crazy. And, like, I have no idea, like, if they're actually European or if they're American. Like, I know I'm Korean. Like, I was born there. I don't remember the birth. I actually don't know who my birth parents are. But I do know that I'm Korean. It's really all I need to know. Right? It's like, what else am I supposed to know? Okay, I'm waiting for my computer to charge. And I have 1 hour and 25 minutes left. 28. It's charged to 30%. Oh my god. If not, like, maybe I'm gonna, like, finish charging my computer and then go and, like, do my laundry or something. Fuck, I find out. This gas station attendants are so creepy. They're literally the creepiest people I've ever met. Like, I don't know if that's a gas station attendant thing or whatever. Yeah, Nick thought that, like, the worst thing that he's gonna experience was ending up at a homeless shelter, and since I was already there, like, I would already, like, introduce everyone that I knew to him. I'm like, are you stupid? Like, are you delusional or something? Are you deranged? Do you think that, like, we're friends? They actually thought that we were friends. That's the funny thing. I'm like, you're gonna do that to your friend? Are you stupid? Are you retarded? Like, what's wrong with your parents? Also, I found out that all the kids from U of T, their parents were involved. Like, their parents actually, like, got together to try to force me to be friends with their kids. Because they're like, you're a good influence, and if anything happens to us, like, you look after them if you guys are friends. And I'm like, your kids are awful and so are you, and you forcing me to be their friend is actually just threatening me. You're literally threatening me, and you think that it's gonna work out. Like, this is probably why your kids turned out this way. Because you think that way. You think that's a normal thing to do. Like, you're an idiot. Right? Like, what the fuck is that shit? You know what I mean? And I'm like, is that even normal? Anyway, apparently people, like, this is what people expect from lower income households. I didn't know all these fashion designers were, like, not very wealthy. There was one guy who works for Dolce & Gabbana. He's, like, exactly like this, what's the food bank attendant that I met. He works at a food bank, except for clothes. He works at a clothing bank. I was like, what? And somebody had told me, actually, the actual rich people, people with money and affluence, they actually get people to design clothes for them. They pay them to actually make the clothes for them, specifically for them. They don't actually buy the clothes on the streets or on the mall, which is technically on the streets. They don't buy that shit. Like, they go to fashion shows and they purchase their own, either off the fashion runway or they ask the designer to make clothes for them. Some of them can make their own clothes, so they don't even do that. So I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, this is kind of stuff like, people just. Excuse me, some of the stuff that you're purchasing, it's like, honestly, you get it off the street all the time. It's just, the more expensive ones are better material, but that's it. It's not really, whatever. And I'm like, what? And some guy I just got that some guy was trying, this Indian guy, I actually have no idea who his name is, and, like, he was involved with this Jewish guy. And I was like, what the fuck? He was trying to, like, my allergies are acting up again. Make fun of me, I think, because this bug is trying to, like, get in my stuff. Yeah, Waleed's a creep. Speaking of bugs, that guy has mental problems and he thinks that we're gonna get married or something. And I'm like, Alex, this is the ugliest shit I've ever seen. Alex raped me and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna marry you because I like you now. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he thought that I was a prostitute. And I was like, why do you think I'm a prostitute? Have you met prostitutes? Like, they're not like me at all. Like, I have no idea why you think that way, but I didn't know he was going through psychosis at the time. Yeah, he was completely delusional. I had no idea what he was doing on Tinder. Trying to meet women, and he was trying to convince me that I should have sex with him, even though he was literally psychotic. And he was useless. He looked so old. All he did was, like, smoke weed at his parents' house all day and stay in the hot tub and tell me that I should get married to him because I'm just as, like, desperate as he is. Like, I think he thought I was this, like, really old woman or something. And I'm like, dude, I'm younger than you. Like, but he looked at me. He met me in person. I look, like, my asshole looks, like, 1,000 times better than his entire face, right? Like, his entire, like, it looks better than, like, what him on his best day, right? And I was like, dude, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, it's because, like, you look old to me. And I was like, that's you. Oh, A$AP Ferg is homeless. Oh my god, so many artists are actually homeless. I didn't actually know that. Until I watched the music video, and I was like, it was a little weird the way they presented it, because they were living in, like, this house, but, like, each level was its own, like, it was kind of like its own apartment. So it looked like they converted an apartment building into, like, a personal 2-story residence, or 3-story residence, rather. Like, you know, like, those really small, like, low-level buildings, so they have, like, 4 stories max. They converted one of those into, like, an actual house, and it looked really weird. And I think, that's, like, him trying to say that, like, a lot of people, like, it looked like a homeless shelter, because, that guy, like, people like that keep coming around me thinking that I'm scared of them, and, like, I'm gonna just do what they tell me because they're helping me by telling me what to do. It's just really creepy. I don't know if they know this. Like, they don't know that they're torai. I don't know how to say that in, like, English. It's like, they're like, it's honestly, it means retarded. Like, you're retarded. Like, your eyes are rolling back, but only one of them is, like, rolling back. And, like, you got, like, fucked up eye, dude. You can't see properly. That's what that means. And I was like, do I look like this really wrinkled old woman or something? Like, what do I look like? And this kid named Lil Pump, he was gay, and he thought that, like, some guy would marry him after, like, he, like, convinces me that we should get married, and then he can keep all my stuff, and people will want to be friends with him, and then he'd be, like, the same status as he is. And I'm like, that's literally what David was doing. Like, he was gay, and he was trying to do that. And he just wanted other guys to like him. He didn't care about, like, getting married, or he didn't like any other woman. He literally only cared about other men. And he, like, thought that he was better than every woman, and he was super racist. And I was like, I was wondering, yeah, everyone from Hungary is racist. So I was like, is there something wrong with you? Like, why are you like this? And he couldn't even find a job here, because he was racist. And I'm like, don't you know who the most of the property owners here are? Like, why do you think you're having so much problems here? Don't you think maybe because you say that kind of stuff, it might be okay in Hungary because everyone's Hungarian, but this isn't Hungary, right? Like, you can't say that kind of stuff here and expect people to like you and, like, expect them to turn this place into whatever you want it to be. Like, that's called narcissistic personality disorder, right? Which is what I was expecting. Like, I think that guy has narcissistic personality disorder. He's just lying and saying that he's, like, not from Europe or whatever. I'm like, that's what I'm assuming, actually. I have no idea. I've never met this guy in person. But yeah, yo, dude, these guys are fucked. Like, in the head. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing to get money or, like, to gain, like, some sort of social influence, but I'm like, Jesus. Yeah, they're, like, begging me to, like, teach them and help them out and be their life coach. He thought that, like, I would want to be his life coach because he's doing so much work and he looks so good now and everyone loves him now, so I should love him too, like, the Lil Pump guy. And I was like, that's fucking nasty. I was making fun of him the entire time, he didn't even notice. Literally, I was, like, literally straight up shitting right on his face. Literally, I put my ass right in front of his face and just shat all over it. And he didn't even notice. I was, like, literally, like, not metaphorically, not literally. Like, I was literally shitting on his entire life, his entire family, and everything he was doing. And on his dick, because it was fake. Just like Alex's dick. And I was like, he was Greek too, and I was like, are you insane? Your country's fucking dirt poor. Oh my god, all these white guys, including Waleed, were like getting triggered because I was like, your country's poor, you know that? Like, literally, you make no difference in the economy, globally speaking, no one cares about you. You have your country as a whole have not made significant changes or impact on the human history in general. Ever, in its entire course of its existence. And not only that, the people that live there aren't very attractive or intelligent. So those aren't even physically valuable, right? Not valuable breeding-wise, so what are you saying? Like, you're dirt poor, you're ugly, and you're stupid to boot. And for whatever reason, I should feel bad about myself. Like, they didn't even notice, nobody picked up on it, and I was making fun of them the entire time. I was mocking them, I was pretending to be just like them. And I realized, like, half of them are completely delusional. I have no idea how they're making their money. They're lying about half the shit they post on Instagram. And I'm like, you're that bad? People at the homeless shelters do that shit because they got nothing going for them. And some people, like, because all they had was money, right? Literally, I'm like, literally your entire life was nothing but money. Everything was solved by material gain. You just paid people off, or you bought more things, or like, you were only friends with people who wanted to use you because you had material wealth. The only reason they're like protecting you or like taking your side is because they don't want to lose their access to resources. They don't care about you as a person. You couldn't even see that. So I started making fun of them. I was like, this is so fucking easy. No one's getting at this. Literally, it's like a fucking buffet for me. I'm like, oh my god. It wasn't very good, honestly. It's like going to Mandarin. I fucking hate that place. I don't feel sorry for any of them. Yeah, they're awful. I have to live in a fucking tent. Okay, I didn't get to shower. I don't even have pants on. I'm wearing a bathing suit, which I'm planning to wear for the next however long. Right? And I have to live in a fucking tent. I don't know, like, people keep stealing from me. I don't have enough food. I don't have enough nutrients. And people owe me money left, right, and center. Literally, like, I'm just like, you really think I'm gonna feel sorry for you? Are you crazy? But yeah, it was really funny. I was like, yo, these people are stupid and poor. There's like, literally, like, there's like clinging onto their material wealth like it's like their entire life. I'm like, your entire life is worth just that. Like, you have nothing else going for you. Literally, like, you haven't developed your skills or your personality or like anything like that. Like, you're not really like getting out there and trying to meet new people and trying to be friends with people that you've never met before. You're not going out there and volunteering or anything like that. Like, you're not doing any of that. And then they try to convince me everybody here is just like them. And I'm like, I don't think so. Not the people making 6 figures and more. I mean, yeah, a lot of them are stupid and they lost all their money because they made stupid mistakes at work. Happens all the time. Also, they don't make significant, I guess, they don't have a lot of influence outside of the current Canadian economy. So it's very localized here. It's not like people outside of fucking Canada care about the stuff that they do here because it's not affecting them. Right? They're like, yeah, we're not ordering your products, we're making it in our country. Like, it's actually better quality and it's cheaper too. Like, I don't know who the fuck that guy is. There's been a few creepers here. This one guy tried to like pick me up or whatever, and I was like, do I look like a streetwalker to you? Maybe in your dreams. Literally, in your dreams, you can be like, yeah, totally, like, she's this really hot virgin who's very clean, and she wants to have sex with me. Even though I'm ugly, and I'm stupid, and I'm poor, and I'm riddled with, like, 2 STIs. Like, I got gonorrhea and chlamydia, and last year I had syphilis, and before that I had herpes. Like, but everyone wants to suck my dick, and I was like, oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, that Diplo guy got gonorrhea. It was so funny. Like, all of those guys, like, I think, I don't know who it started with, but, like, the DJs, like, they're so stereotypically DJs. Like, it's just like, oh, this DJ guy got gonorrhea from, like, what is it? I have no idea. It's like, I think they got into a touristy area. They, like, got stuck in a tourist trap or something. And they're like, that's where all those dirty hookers are. At a fucking tourist trap. Like, it's just, what, you, like, fucking having sex with hookers and shit, and you're like, oh shit, I wonder why I got fucking STIs now. I'm like, I don't fucking know, maybe because you're fucking dirty hookers, I don't know, maybe your DJ got STI, wow. Can you be more stereotypical? Like, honestly, it's so funny. It was hilarious. I was, like, dying laughing. But I wasn't really dying. I was literally dying, and I was also laughing. But, yeah. What the fuck was that? It's so weird. Yeah, I was no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Like, I thought they were crazy. It's like, you must be crazy. It's so weird. They're like projecting all of their things into me, and they're like, this is how I see you. And I was like, I don't care. It's not real. Whatever you think of me is completely delusional, false. Like, have you seen me? I'm like the most hottest piece of ass walking in entire America right now. And everyone wants to bone me, literally, even women, and I am smarter than half the people I've met so far. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I am smart as some of the people who are supposed to be the smartest people on earth. Ow, fuck, my boobs are hurting. Oh, yo, what the fuck is that? Oh, yo, my boob. Fuck, it hurts. Maybe because I was sitting weird. Yo, I don't trust this place. Bro, and they're like, oh, how are you so good at, like, navigating? Because I've been outside, literally. I go outside and talk to people, that's what I do. I give people chances, I get a chance to get to know other people, and that's how I know. You think I just sit on my ass all day and watch videos online and make stupid internet comments, and all of a sudden I know everything? Yeah, that's how people learn. Like, it's so stupid. Literally, people who do that, they just ignore people like that. And I was like, what? They're like, literally, like, nobody cares about these people. But anyway, I was like, oh my god. It was so funny. Somebody has chlamydia. Somebody. Like a somebody. Yeah, they literally have chlamydia, and I was like, oh my god. I'm like, you guys have, like, I've never had an STI in my life, I gotta be honest. Which is weird, considering, like, I've been raped repeatedly and numerously by a bunch of guys, and they were all trying to tell me, like, all these people that I didn't even know were trying to convince me they were cheating on you the entire time, like, you were, like, the 5th girl on their, like, hit list, and they were having sex with, like, 4 other girls while they were away, and I was like, right, okay, well, you have fun with that. Like, that life that you're living, and I'm sorry he's cheating on you. Yeah, maybe because you say that kind of stuff, he doesn't really like you. But yeah, it's so funny. I'm like, how is nobody like... yeah. Like, how are you gonna go out in public like that? This is fucking hilarious. Yeah. I've been trying to figure out what my type is. There's this, like, I'm, like, literally, like, I don't know who my type is. Oh my god. Oh, I thought they were gay. None of them wanted to have sex with me. I was like, are you guys gay? Like, oh my god, you should have told me that you were gay. Now I feel weird, because it's like, if you were gay and, like, you're just flirting back because you want to be nice or you like flirting, like, I didn't want it to be, like, give you this impression that, like, you had to continue talking to me or whatever. Like, I didn't want you to think that, like, you know, like, you had to, like, say something to me because, like, you don't want to hurt my feelings. You're not hurting my feelings at all. Sorry, like, I can feel your pain. My feelings aren't hurt by stuff like that. Cause, like, I don't take that kind of stuff seriously. Like, it's just flirting online or flirting in person. Either way, that guy's nasty. I had a flashback of some guy who was trying to hit on me on the subway, and I'm like, ugh. He was pissed, cause he's like, I think he was trying to say, like, oh, why are you so hot and I've never met you before and people are, like, trying to hide you from me or something. Oh, I also found out Erica has no friends. she was like dreaming about a life where we're friends and like I'm just ugly and like everybody just, you know, we're like the two girls who are just best friends and we like live like all these party lives or something. I'm like, are you fucking delusional? Fuck are you saying? Yeah, they thought that I was friends with her because I was being so nice to her and I was like trying to like I was being a friend to her and stuff, and I was like, no, it's because I know her. I'm a foster kid and my foster parents know her family and they're kind of family friends, so it's like we're cousins. We're not really cousins, but you can call it, I consider her to be like a cousin, right? Like it's kind of like, it's very Korean. Like it's not really like, it doesn't really mean anything if you say like they're family or whatever, like, or family, like it's just, we're not very close, but like we are kind of socially obligated to each other. And what am I gonna say? No, Erica, we can't hang out because like I think you're really uncool and lame. And it's not like I don't have anything better to do, but like I just don't want to hang out with people who are like losers. You know, it's gonna look bad on me even though like I don't have any like social experience or whatever. And plus, your family knows like the family that I'm living with, so like definitely I can do that or whatever. Like I obviously can't. So I was like, yeah, I'm also being nice to her because she's weird. I think she's a lesbian and she just keeps on bringing up all this shit that I have nothing to do with, and this is why people hate her. And she keeps on like mooching off of me either socially or behind my back. And I'm like, I had no idea what to do with her because she's older than me. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to like say no to her hanging out with me if she's like, what am I? I'm not gonna be a complete bitch to her because I don't even know her. Right, like, I kind of know her, I've been to her house and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, oh, we're not actually that close. Like, honestly, like, I kind of was forced to hang out with her, but I didn't mind in the beginning until she started doing that kind of stuff, and then they're like, yeah, this is why we hate her. She always does that kind of shit. She's always okay in the beginning, and then sooner or later, she does that fucking bullshit every single time, and then we can't even hang out with her. Or, like, she fucks something up with somebody that we know, and it's either, like, we have to hide the fact that we're hanging out with that person. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, but, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm not actually friends with her. And I didn't know that her actual, like, the friends that she met, they were, like, only copying what I was doing, which was really weird. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, we saw her, like, you kind of, like, look after her so she doesn't do any stupid shit when we go clubbing. And I was like, yeah, that's, like, the whole point. Like, what do you mean? Like, why would I, like, go there and, like, want to ruin my own time? Like, this is really stupid. And, like, this other girl she was hanging out with, like, she only hung out with Erica because she looked really good next to her. Literally, like, it made the picture look complete or whatever. And she, like, literally told me that Erica was literally stealing all her clothes. But I said it was me because I don't want her stealing my shit. So I was just going along with it. And I was like, you're a bitch. Like, you're literally a bitch. And yeah, that's what the subway guy was saying. He was trying to say, like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm like, I'm not a bad bitch. Holy shit. I'm a really good person. Okay, I am very great. People love me, and like, honestly, like, guys literally die to be with me socially. I don't know about physically, like, I would be really happy if they kill themselves after, but like, I'm not gonna kill them. Unless I have to, because they owe me money and my stuff back. Yeah, I don't know what they keep stealing from me. Somebody actually tried to explain to me, they're like, it's literally because you won't have sex with them and you won't be their girlfriend. And they felt like they deserve it because they talked to you and they were nice to you for like an hour. So they deserve to have sex with you and have you be their girlfriend. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but some guys are like that because they don't have any social life or any social skills and they're really stupid and they're losers and no one talks to them. And I was like, alright. And I'm like, okay, so what are they doing, trying to get at me? And I was like, it just sounds like you guys are involved in like, what are you trying to achieve here? Like, just trying to tell like, this guy off through somebody else? That's illegal. This is retarded. But I think that's what they were doing. I was like, yeah, so you guys were clearly involved, and now you see what's actually it's like, and that's what you're gonna say. But I'm pretty sure you were talking shit about me and saying like, Oh my gosh, she should be so happy and glad that like he's even talking to her, because like she's from such a poor family, and like his family has more money than hers, and like honestly it's like she thinks that she's better than everyone else just because she's hot. And I'm like, I am better than you because I'm hot. Okay, you think I sit on my ass and do nothing all day and I stay hot? Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Mm. Erica thought she was hot. I was like, honestly, I'm having so much better luck having decent guys try to hit on me than before, where I was hanging out with all those losers and Erica, and I was like, oh my god. But I think they were like, that was their plan. They're like, oh, I know she's gonna hang out with Erica because she can't really say no. And she already met a bunch of shitty people, so like if they stop hanging out, we can like pretend to be better. And then like she like at least hang out with us after. And I was like, I can clearly like the fact that you guys know each other is enough for me to be like, I don't really want to get to know any of you. That's gross. And I already had like enough enough like experience like talking to people like that or whatever. I think some people are still convinced I'm a prostitute. I was like, no. This one last time I was in Aurora, they were literally threatening me. They're like, we're gonna come in the middle of the night and stab you if you don't try to be an escort. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then somebody actually told me like, it's literally just to get you out of the area. And I'm like, why? And they're like, literally, you don't want to know. And then some guy, I almost missed this. There was a couple of guys that lived the town beside Aurora in Newmarket, and they were like, nobody really lives here. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, no one really lives here, you need to get out. And I was like, but people work here and I can see you guys in your houses. It's like, no, this isn't a normal area or a neighborhood. I don't know if you've noticed this, but we're doing it intentionally to tell you this, because they were the only people saying, hey neighbor, how are ya? I'm great, thanks, how are ya? Oh, how's the wife and kids? Oh, they're great. And I was like, well, it looks like a very wealthy area. And he's like, no one lives here. And I'm like, where do you guys live if you don't live here? It's like, don't worry about that kind of stuff. Just, you need to leave. And I was like, I don't know what this means. Like, no one lives here. You're not supposed to live here. And I'm like, why? And they're like, I don't even know anyone here. I didn't do anything. And they're like, it doesn't matter. You just leave. And I was like, what's wrong with you guys? And they're like, just leave. And I was like, I just feel like you guys are trying to like get me involved in something illegal, and they're like, you're gonna get involved in something illegal if you don't leave. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I had to find out not the hard way, like the long way, that they were smoking crack. Oh, and this girl named Kathy Lee, she was talking so much shit to me. I was like, what the fuck is her problem? She never had friends. Literally, like, if somebody told me, like, I'm 27, right? And if, like, some other person, she was, like, 3 years younger than me, I think, or 2. She's probably, like, 25 now. If some 25-year-old came up to me and they're like, I've never actually had friends. Like, I've never had friends until, like, I was, like, 19, 20 when I first met Chris and his crew. And I was like, so what the hell were you doing before? Like, just you didn't have any friends at school? You didn't hang out with anyone? And they were like, no, we never hung out with anybody. Like, that's what Kathy never said this. I was like wondering why she was being like so weird and stuff. Almost rubbed my earwax on my face. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? And she was like, just saying all this stuff like, something like, yeah, I feel so bad for you, your life is gonna be over because we're gonna fuck everything up for you, because, like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this bitch is crazy. And she thought that she was hot, and I was like, I saw the comments on her Instagram, like, all her family members are just lying to her. They're like, oh my god, you're so pretty, Kathy. Like, you got the good genes in the family. And like, oh my god, look at you, golden girl. And they're like, oh my god, look at you, you're like a model. And she like photoshops all her pictures because to cover up her fucked up face marks from like the heroin she used to do. And I was like, don't you think like maybe because you were on heroin, you never really had friends? Like, people don't really want to hang out with people who do drugs all day. You know, and it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know why you were on heroin for. Like, it's kind of fucking weird, dude. And she like went to a Korean restaurant to like talk shit about me in front of all the other Koreans just to like make them pissed off and like get me to feel bad about myself because like, oh look, I'm dissing you, like I'm disrespecting you. Do you know what that is? Like, dissing you means like I'm like literally like I know that I'm better than you and I don't care about who you are as a person and I'm doing it in a Korean restaurant and you're Korean. It means I don't really care and I'm better than you. And I was like, are you high? Like, what the fuck is your problem? And her boyfriend got pissed. Like, he started stalking me afterwards. He was like trying to like find any excuse to say it was my fault or like there is something wrong with me. She's not the only fucked up girl in the world. And I was like, I get that, but do you see how hot I am? And do you see how ugly she is? Like, most ugly girls are like that. I guess he doesn't want to believe that he could have been like he was hitting on a fucked up ugly bitch. And I was like, that's literally what you're doing. Why do you think your family hates you? Literally, like, your friends are all ugly. She's fucking ugly. And you think, like, she's so fucking easy, too. Like, she's literally the easiest girl you could sleep with. And you're, like, wondering, oh, geez, like, why, blah, 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 blah. It's because you're sleeping with an easy bitch. And he didn't get that. And I was like, yeah, look, I'm not that easy because Chris is, like, literally raping me. And he didn't want to believe that either. He's like, you're telling me that we're forcing you to hang out with us? And not in a million years would you ever hang out with us unless we forced you, which is technically illegal. And I'm like, yeah, I would never hang out with you unless you force me to because you're ugly. But yeah. What am I gonna do? Sit there and have you guys get jealous of me because I'm hotter than you and you'll never be as hot as me? Like, yeah, that's a great time, right? Jesus. Yes, jeez. And I was like, what is that? Oh yeah, Wally thought he was better than me because he has a car and he's living out of his car. And I was like, bitch, I got 2 cars better than your car. Hey, you don't think I can tell the body kit? You know that shit was made in China and they just like wrapped it up in a Hyundai body kit and sold it to you because you're a fucking loser? Like, literally, they only sold that to you because they weren't expecting you to pay on time, which you aren't. And they're just gonna forget about it and say that you owe them anyway. Like, most of it came from shipping fees. Like, he's so stupid, he can't even tell what cars are cars. I'm like, that's what they're doing to Susan, too. I'm like, you guys don't even know a thing about cars. Don't you think it's weird? The steering is fucking tight and, like, it feels rusted. Like, the steering feels rusted and tight and you just got this. You're getting ripped off on a Hyundai. Like, what kind of big person are you? That's so funny. Like, I thought that was hilarious. I didn't tell him that to his face, though. I didn't want him to know. I'm like, no, I'm not getting shit with the car dealers here. No thanks. Also, Dustin's dad tried to work in a car dealership as a car salesman. Or, like, he owned a dealership or something, which went belly up. I was like, you're an idiot. You're literally retarded. How hard it is to sell a fucking car? Bitch, you live in Canada. People need cars here. So stupid. Holy shit. Who are these people? They're like just fucking pulling up and just staring at me. So creepy. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck her problem was. Like, I'm like, you didn't have friends until like you're like 21, 22. It was kind of weird. Like, you never hung out with anyone after school. Like, I did that all the time when I was a kid. Oh, Dustin didn't do that. Yeah, we all hung out during recess and stuff, and then, like, kids wanted to go see movies and whatever after school, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then, yeah, we used to, like, hang out and go to bookstores for, like, school projects and, like, hang out at each other's houses or whatever. And I was like, you never had that? Like, you never had a sleepover or, like, you never, like, had gossip going or, like, you guys didn't look at stupid shit online? Like, this is kind of weird. Like, how old are you? You're telling me for, like, the first 22 years of your life, you never had a friend. Like, that's a little concerning to me. I'm like, it's raising some alarm bells. I'm just like, that's... Yeah, I don't know if that's normal. Like, your parents never cared? Like, they never asked you, like, oh, don't you have any friends to hang out with? Like, don't you want to do anything with your friends? They never said anything about that kind of stuff to you? Like, just kind of weird that no one was concerned that you didn't have any friends. Or, like, not even friends, like, you didn't go do anything with your classmates or, like, socialize or anything. It's not normal. Like, it was really weird. I was like, it's fucking creepy. Literally, like, how creepy do you have to be to have no friends? You literally had no friends. Like, zero. Zero friends. Your entire life. Like, until you were 22. And then you met these awful people and they just accepted you. Like, you didn't question it. You didn't think they were kind of weird. You're just glad that you had friends or something. Because it's just very stupid. Maybe they don't have any friends because they're stupid. Oh, this one girl in high school was trying to warn me. She's like, yeah, they're gonna try to send you to, like, York University. I think I already talked about that. Yo, this is making me anxious. I'm like, why are they fucking following me around? Like, I feel like they're gonna steal something from me. Oh, it's a full moon out, I think. Is that a full moon? Fucking hell. Yeah, this place is creepy. And, like, all the homeless shelter people thought that, like, I would just forgive them. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Like, you're gonna do all the fucked up bullshit. And I'm just gonna forgive you because we're friends now. Because you decided that on your own, in your own mind. And just to treat me like shit. And some time passes and I'm just gonna forget all about it. And I'm just gonna give you another chance. Because we're married. I'm like, delusional. We're not married, newsflash. We have a relationship before this, newsflash. Like, I get that you fall in love with me immediately. Like, it's hard not to. Okay, it's hard not to fall in love with me 100% immediately. Because, like, I'm just so great. But, like, at the same time, like, you should, like, you know, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like, notice the boundaries. What is that? Who is that guy? Two of his headlights are different fucking colors. I don't even know that guy. He smells like weed. What is that? Yo, who is that? It's fucking creepy. Some, like, I don't even know if he looks brown. Like, some brown guy with, like, some fucked up beard. Yo, he was just staring at me. Oh my god. So creepy. But I was like, yeah, I am not about that life. Literally, I'm not about that life. And all of these people are targeting me and thinking that they had something like, they thought that we had a thing. Even the cops thought we had a thing. And I'm like, what is a thing if I'm telling you to fuck off and you keep harassing me? How's it a thing? Like, what the fuck? You know? And I'm like, what is that? Yo, I think that was free. The kid I haven't seen since, like, forever. I know everybody in Aurora got in shit. That's what the people in New York were trying to get me to leave. They're like, dude, we know what was happening there. We don't, like, just fucking go. And I'm like, I can't just leave. They're gonna think it's weird. They're gonna try to get me to go back. You should do something. We can do something. I was like, okay. The only reason they said that was because they're like, you're the only person that works there that is supposed to be working there. We hired those girls there on purpose. One of the girls that worked there, her name was Kelly. She got demoted to work on the floor. She didn't actually, like... Yeah, she was working in a better position and she did some fucked up shit and, like, she got demoted to the floor. And I'm like, that's a bad sign for the company because she works for Fruits and Passions, not for the face shop. And I was like, I don't know idea what the fuck was happening there. I was like, no fucking idea. Yo, they're retarded. Yeah, anyway, I forgot to mention, Tiffany was just talking shit about me behind my back. And just lying about me, and like all these people who wanted to be friends with me were just believing everything she was saying. And she thought those were friends. And she never went on a date, she never got out, she never socialized with other people. That's my favorite car. That's literally my favorite car. No. Oh yeah, she never went on a date, she never got to meet other people. Like, I'm just like, that's so stupid. Literally, like, she like, before she like went berserk, she was like yelling at me. She's like, blah 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 blah. Yeah, she's trying to like be sarcastic and tell me that like I don't date, and I'm like, I've been going on dates, honestly. Like, I've been dating. Like, I don't know if you've gone out and gone on dates. Like, this is very manly of you to try to save yourself for the right one. You don't want to go and date, waste your money or anything on men that you don't want to be with. Like, are you a fucking cougar or something? Like, what's wrong with you? You're just planning to like fucking sexually assault like a minor or something? It's fucked up. I didn't say anything. I was mocking them too. Like, I'm not actually like that, but I saw that they were copying me and they were going crazy because no one believed them. And like, yeah, they were getting more and more jealous of me and they were hating on me. And I was like, what the fuck? So like, I just pretended to be what they're feeling because they were trying to hide it by acting differently. They're like, yeah, I'm really like, they were so scared, but then they were like doing this thing where like, yeah, they were, oh fuck my ass. Literally, they were so scared of me. Yeah, they were terrified because they did all that fucked up shit and I didn't even know about it and none of it was true. And I went on out and got jobs anyway and I did stuff anyway, regardless of what they were saying. And they got like really scared because they already lied and like called the cops and all that kind of stuff because they thought that they could just lie their way out of everything, right? And what actually ended up happening was that like yeah, they were getting weird. So I was like, yeah, I'm really scared of you, and you're like, you're the boss here, and you're like, you're so like you know everything. Yeah, I'm so scared, and I'm like, my feelings are really hurt. And I was just mocking Sean at the same time, like the dad, because he's a pussy ass bitch. I fucking hate them. I was like thinking about quitting smoking, and I was like in my tent thinking, I'm like, yeah, I should probably start quitting. And then I was like, holy shit, it's like stressing me out just talking about this stuff. Like, literally the bus drivers won't leave me alone. They all owe me money. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna take my money and get the fuck out of here. And during the time, I gotta meet 3 people who are close enough to me, who I consider to be of value, who are my friends, or at least acquainted, and they're in good enough social standing to put on my passport. Because last time I went with the wrong people on my fucking passport, they went berserk. Okay, the Korean government did not like that, and neither did any other Korean person. They're like, how dare you involve these people into our lives again? And I was like, what is wrong with you? I didn't know they already knew all their family. They're like, literally, like, we literally got them out of here. Like, why are you bringing them back in here? Like, we don't want them here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How would I know that? And they're like, no, like, they need to stay there. They can't have anything to do with you. Like, they're gonna start mooching off you. The minute that they come to Korea, they're gonna try to look for a place. And they're gonna try to look for a job in Korea. And I already know, like, all the family members were lying to them because what happened was, oh my god. Yeah, one of the guys, they're like, yeah, my cousin told me it's just really hard to find a job and he doesn't even have a job right now. Like, it's just, I'm like, he's lying to you. I didn't say that, but I'm like, he's clearly lying to this guy. He's like, yeah, obviously he's saying that because he don't want you to fucking come back to Korea because he got you out of there. And I'm like, why were they even there to begin with? And they're like, you know what? Like, sometimes they came in handy when we didn't have anyone, but it was like, as long as when we found better people, we just kicked them out. And I was like, okay, but like, why can't they be my guarantor and references? And they're like, literally, you have know nothing about their history. I'm like, I'm not gonna go and ask them, can you go to the police station and print out your criminal history and all that kind of stuff if I can't personally tell what they're guilty of or whatever. And I think that might be illegal. And I'm like, I need a passport, and these Canadian people keep refusing to give me a legitimate passport. And they're like, no, it's legitimately because this is. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, that's what they were saying. That's literally, they're like, they got mad at me because I put some references and guarantor on my passport that they did not approve of. They're like, these people aren't even supposed to be qualified for a passport. Thanks for letting us know. But at the same time, we don't want these people associated with you, so no thanks. And I'm like, you guys are driving me insane. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. Are you saying that there's a problem with the Canadian government? Like, why are they handing out passports like candy? Like, it's fucking retarded. Who are these people? Like, literally! Yeah, I'm like, I'm tired. It's on my phone, like, not my phone, on my computer. They're scared of me. They're literally, like, shitting themselves, and I'm like, why are you scared? Like, what the fuck did you do to, like, piss people off? It's so weird.